Hi, it's Sandy Grason. We are in Boulder, Colorado today, and I'm going to take you to visit Brad Feld and Amy Batchelor. They've just finished a book called Startup Life, which is an incredible story of relationships and how to manage and juggle and balance your life when you're a busy entrepreneur. I can't wait for you to meet them. Can you tell us a little bit about why you decided to write this book together?
You want to start?
I think the short answer is that a lot of people have a really hard time figuring this out. And we have been together through ups and downs for 22 years, and we're hoping to really be able to help other people.
Well, we have another book coming out called Startup Author. Surviving and thriving and writing a book with your spouse. It was a really powerful experience. You know, we've done lots of things together, but this is probably the most significant thing that we've, over a period of time that we've done together. There are lots of times where, I'm a guy, so I have a natural tendency to want to solve the problem as my first mode. And I spend an awful lot of time solving a lot of problems or making very rapid decisions. So I asked Amy the question, do you want a glass of water or do you just want empathy?
And the glass of water story comes from the movie White Men Can't Jump, where there's this scene where Woody Harrelson's in bed with Rosie Perez and she says, "Honey, I'm thirsty," and he gets up and gets her a glass of water and she takes it and throws it in his face. And he says, "What did I do wrong?" And she said, "I can get my own glass of water. I wanted you to say, honey, I know what it's like to be thirsty." The sense that you're not alone, the sense that, he knows that you just need to be told that you're fabulous, and that often we're actually perfectly capable of solving our own problems. You just want to not feel like you're alone.
Brad's been really honest in his blogs, and I know that's resonated with so many people about how you've gone through the depression, because when people see you on stage and read your books, it's really easy to idealize your life and say everything must be perfect. But Amy, what would you say to someone who is married to an entrepreneur who is struggling with depression, how to begin that process?
I think a couple of things, one of which is entrepreneurs tend to act like 2-year-olds, meaning they just drive themselves until they fall over asleep on the floor, right? You just kind of push and push and push until you have a temper tantrum and break. And not to say that that's an immature response, but just kind of that neglect of the physical self.
The flip side for many people in the relationship is they don't know how to even talk about that, especially with an entrepreneur. So the partner to an entrepreneur just gets frustrated, just builds up and builds up and builds up, and then it explodes. And it often explodes at the worst possible moment for the entrepreneur.
It's also important that as the partner, if you're not also an entrepreneur, that you still take care of yourself. Say what you need, have your own interests, your own works, your own interesting life, so that you don't necessarily get caught up in the whirlwind of the entrepreneurial life yourself, if that's not your own nature.
The big piece is we all have our own crazies.
Yes, absolutely.
And as a couple, understanding that and being able to be helpful to your partner is important. A specific example is there are times when I just need Amy to be empathetic. I just need her to be mellow and put up with my whatever. And then there are other times where I need her to say, you need to take tomorrow off. You need to, we need to go to a movie now. You need to sleep until you wake up.
I think one of the interesting things and why taking a week, a quarter off is really important for the entrepreneur is that you can have this false sense that if you just work harder, you can make the outcome be good. The first couple of days that we're away, Brad's often really antsy, and you can kind of feel him reaching for his phone that's not there, because he gives me his phone and I put it in my purse for a week.
I love that.
Just because you kind of can't trust yourself not to want to check.
If it's on you.
And if you really know yourself and you know that about yourself, there are ways of solving these things. And I think that's a big message in the book, is that you need to problem solve together, you need to be creative, you need to be gentle with each other about it. But the vacation away off the grid has been really vital.
A lot of people say, well, I can't take a week off, a quarter, because, and then a long list of reasons, and the reasons are fine. But you can't take a day off. You can take 2 days off.
One of the things I don't think we touched on that I really love that you talk about in the book is your life dinner. So can you tell about how that came about and exactly what you do?
Part of what caused it to happen was this very low point in our relationship in 2000. I said to Amy, as we're sort of working through it over this weekend, I said, give me some rules. And her first reaction was, yuck, I don't want to give you rules. And I said, you know, my brain's an engineer's brain. Like, if I have some rules, like maybe that'll help. And so she started giving me some rules. And we started talking through them. And one of them was, let's have dinner, not date night. Let's have a dinner once a month where we talk about what happened the previous month and what happened the next, what we're looking forward to, and we sort of just get calibrated. It's just us. Again.
Yeah, we have lots of dinners out with friends in small groups, which are really wonderful, but this actually has a purposeful communication forum. And we sometimes even set goals in terms of, okay, I've noticed that you're working more hours than you said, or...
It's okay to bring an agenda to life dinner, and it's also okay to just show up. And in this moment, when we're talking about this, I said, I'm not sure if I can commit to that. And Amy said, do you use an online calendar? And I used Outlook at the time, and I said, yes. And she said, can you make a recurring appointment? And I said, yes. And she said, well, why don't you make a recurring appointment that says Amy Life Dinner?
And by the way, I think I did a really good job of remaining calm when he said, I'm not sure I could commit to dinner once a month with you.
Right? And she said, why don't you make a recurring calendar appointment on the first day of the month from now until forever? Oh. And I did.
Brad, tell me your favorite thing about Amy.
I love being next to her. And being with her, just being. You know, there are lots and lots and lots of smart people in the world that I deal with. She's the smartest. I think I am my best self when we're together, and I like that. And it's not even that we have to be doing anything, but it allows me to be me in a way that is completely unconstrained.
How about you, Amy? Favorite thing about Brad?
I think his sense of humor. He has a really quirky, kind of eccentric sense of humor, which is how he really is, and he's just hilarious. He's one of the funniest people I've ever met. I think that humor has really stood us in good stead. I mean, the intelligence is a huge piece of it, but like he said, we're surrounded by intelligent people. I think the humor is a unique characteristic.
Wasn't that awesome? Brad and Amy are so smart. They are so intentional with their conversations and their communication, and I feel like they don't let anything build up too much before they address it. I am definitely going to start doing life dinners and quarterly vacations and tell my husband he needs to find me a present every single month. We'd love to hear what you thought about Startup Life and about our interview with Brad and Amy. And if you have any suggestions for future interviews, fascinating people about startup life or entrepreneurial life or being successful, we'd love to hear from you. This is Sandy Grason for ICOSA TV.